Goodness only knows what we're going to find. But it's not going to be easy getting there. We're at 3,000 meters high. We're looking for pictograms and petroglyphs. I can't breathe anymore. Jen the treasure hunter pulls out another artifact. Goodness knows what's going to come out next. What'd you find, Jeff?
A religious pendant, maybe?
Oh, super brother, you found an artifact. Jeff has just found a silver pendant.
And look, there's a stone foundation along here, so the wooden house has been built on a stone platform.
Ashley, just want you to know something. You're a wonderful soul.
Walter, I really put my foot in it that time. This stopped being fun about 20 minutes ago. Just done. What'd you find, Jeff?
A religious pendant, maybe? There's some writing on it.
Oh, super brother, you found an artifact.
Maybe he can ID it?
Well done, Jeff. Que está, Ishmael?
Is this Jesus? Mary?
Oh, Maria, sí.
Is Mary?
The team is at a site on the base of La Peña de Huayca. Our permissions come from landowner today who has told us that between this tree and these tree stumps was a Casa de las Mujeres, a house of only women, sacred priestesses of La Peña de Huayca, the feminine mountain in the Valley of the Gods. And across the valley is El Mahoy, the male counterpart. Jeff has just found a silver pendant with an image of the Virgin Mary. Now, when the conquistadors arrived, they transplanted worship of the goddess Chia with worship of the Virgin Mary, so it makes quite a lot of sense to find a pendant dedicated to Maria or Mary at an indigenous site that was once reserved for the worship of Chia, the lunar goddess, as was the mountain dedicated to the moon. What a racket those bastards are making. What have you got there, Jen?
Coin.
Which type?
200 pesos.
It's treasure, see?
Yeah.
Super, well done, Jen.
Thank you.
Jen the treasure hunter pulls out another artifact from the soil. It's not particularly old, but it's on top of where the old house of the woman was, somewhere between the 13th and the 15th century. We know the foundations are between these two trees here. So we found a coin and we found a pendant with the Virgin Mary. Goodness knows what's going to come out next. We're exploring here on a very old field, and you can see the terraced agricultural system running horizontally across the field. I hope the camera picks it up. You can see these horizontal lines. This field could have been farmed anything back to 800 AD by indigenous Muisca farmers.
And here. There's a 45 right here. Maybe silver. I mean, could be aluminum. More rock.
The team has found an ominous arc of stones that have been placed with a large white stone in the middle. So we've pulled back the stones and we're finding lots and lots of readings underneath. And Jeff excitingly has indicated that perhaps has the sign of silver, or the signal of silver. So fingers crossed. Listen to this. Listen to it. Everything's going crazy.
Oh, wow. An old hoe.
Oh, God knows how old that is. An old farming hoe.
That was my high tone.
That's not what I'm looking for.
We're heading up the side of La Peña de Huayca. We're not going to the summit today. We're looking for are the foundations of a house known as the Indian house, or the Casa Indígena. And there are foundations there that we have permission to explore, to metal detect, and goodness only knows what we're going to find. But it's not going to be easy getting there. We're back in the jungle, Walter. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow, look at the goats. These mountain goats,
No.
look, they've never seen, they're not very scared of us.
They're just billy goats.
How'd you know his name's Billy? That's a bit presumptuous. Could be Gene. Oh no, that's definitely not a Gene, that's a Billy. Billy with a willy. Look. Hello, fella. You're a lovely fella. Look at your horns. Feeling a bit gruff today, are you? It's not getting any easier. We're at 3,000 meters high on the La Peña de Huayca range.
Go ahead. Go in front of me. Hold on to me if you need.
Okay. We're making our way along the edge of La Peña de Huayca, on the edge of the dropover, inspecting these enormous cliff faces. And there's a path that goes round the base. We're looking for pictograms and petroglyphs.
Este es el mirador.
Sí. Yeah. El Mirador viewing spot.
Unearth is
Mala.
I don't know.
No.
Is better back and down for this part.
Sure. We've just come along the edge of Sarawaka to discover that the path's overgrown and blocked, so all of the last half hour's efforts are getting reversed. And we're going back, which doubles the energy expenditure and twice as much pisses Walter off for the last hour that he's had. Jen's holding it together, she's cool.
I think I might know what trail he wanted. I think I saw a trail down here that maybe that's what he's looking for.
Alright, Walter, lead the way.
I don't know.
Myself and Ishmael have pushed ahead. We're coming up. I see a rock face again. Seems to be every time we film here we're on danger's edge, but look, we can't go any further. We can't get beyond these stones here, which appear to be stacked 1, 2, 3, forming a mirador here, upon which indigenous people may have sighted the horizon in the opposite valley. But there's no pictograms. Ishmael's waiting down there for me. This is the first mirador we inspected, this enormous flat stone down here. This stopped being fun about 20 minutes ago. Just done. I can't breathe, there's no air. I can't breathe anymore. I'm a type 1 diabetic and I loaded up with sugar before we did this, but I burned off about 60 grams of carbs in the last hour and a half. I have my reserves with me, but I feel completely exhausted. I can't get any air into my muscles. And every time we stop and we just about catch your heartbeat again, you take 10 steps and you're done. And now it's making sense what Jimenez Quesada said when he arrived in Bogota, in Colombia, in 1537, that the first 200 meters of the day took half the day. And it's only when you do this you can understand what it must have been like with chain mail and protective armour. I can't. And here we are at the Indian house. This wooden structure has been built on top of an indigenous Muisca structure that's been here for at least 1300 years. You can see the back walls being cut. This enormous monolith.
It's a construction very ancestral.
See, they keep building over the side.
I've explored. There's lots of holes in this bit carefully. But this here's been built on and rebuilt, and that back wall's been cleared, see? Look, you can see the farm, del techo.
Oh, sure.
And there's wire here, which you might have picked up there.
Yep.
And look, there's a stone foundation along here, so the wooden house has been built on a stone platform.
See there? Here's the foundation to the indigenous platform house. Last lived in by the old indigenous man, Casa de los Viejos. And it comes all the way up here to here. We searched along the foundation, but there's no signs of anything apart from stone archaeology.
I find another path.
Ashley, just want you to know something. You're a wonderful soul. How about that? Number 2 for the day.
Walter, I really put my foot in it that time. Even when we're exhausted, we get a good crack in the mountain. Oh dear. That was some day. We're going to go back down now and see what Jeff's found at the bottom. He's been metal detecting on the farm site all afternoon. And hopefully he's found something awesome for us to present to the farmer. We leave most of the findings with the landowners. We kind of feel it's a mark of respect. Well, we're metal detecting and digging plugs. We leave everything tidy as we found it. We've got back down the hill from La Peña de Huayca. And Walter and Jen and myself are exploring on this platform for a new house, because the builders have dug a 4 metre, 5 metre deep pit here, which has helped us infinitely because everything that was below is now up in these piles here. So Walter's going to metal detect those while I go into the pit. The reason I'm doing this is because this 4 metre deep hole has a clear white geological band here, which must represent a sedimentary layer, which I suspect is from this 10 to 12,000 BC lagoon line, which was on this level. So what I'm going to do is take a few samples of this clay, this chalk, and we'll see if it holds fish organisms or water organisms, shells, pieces of curdled shell, fish horns.
It's shallow.
These enormous stones they've left at the bottom of the pit are part of the bedrock.
Plugs of it.
Put you in it, guys. Here we go. Right, so let's do it. Each you one of those ones if you can, okay?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. I'll get a screenshot there. And then on a random 3, 2, 1, I've got point. That's good. Point up, look out. Okay. 3, 2, 1. That's the winner.
It looks great.